What's good, YouTube? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Doug Cow Show. I hope you're enjoying the show as much as I enjoy making it for y'all, because I'm really enjoying doing this for y'all. Um, so on today's video, or on today's episode, I should say, we're talking about Book 6 of the Baudelaire Orphans' Lives. We're talking about book 6 in the series of Unfortunate Event series, the Ersatz Elevator. So basically, this time, the Baudelaires are still on the search for the Quagmire kids, the Quagmire triplets, Duncan and Isadora. Like I told y'all, I couldn't remember the last name last time, but I remembered it because they mentioned them in this book too. So in this one, the Baudelaires get adopted by the squalors, and the squalors are rich people, and the husband is nice, but the wife is a snob. Basically, she's a snob. She's one of these people who has to have all the end things, because in this town that they live in, or in this part of the place they live in, some stuff's in and some stuff's out. Yeah, I know that's weird, but anywho, so they live with them, and there's this guy who is a auctioneer, and he comes to their house, and his name is Gunta, and he pretends like he doesn't know English, so he says, "Everything, please. Nice to meet you, please. Nice to meet you, please," and things like that. He puts "please" after every word, and he speaks with an accent. But of course, the Baudelaires know that it's Count Olaf in disguise, or they think they know. But let's face it, every time Count Olaf has shown up, he's been in disguise. So that's the thing. Like, all right, so like, if I was Mr. Poe, I would start believing the Baudelaires when they say, "Oh, this is whoever this is Count Olaf in disguise." So, so they meet Gunther, and they know who he is, and blah 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 blah. So they go to the store with Mr. Squalor, Jerome Squalor, and Esme is the wife. She just don't want nothing to do with the Baudelaires, and she's just like, "You keep them, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna go chill. Will you keep them away? I need to go talk to Gunta about the inn auction." And yes, the auction was literally called the inn auction. And this dude, the Jerome Squalor, he don't like to argue with nobody, so he won't argue with his wife, even though sometimes he is in the right to argue with his wife because of some of the stupid stuff she be doing. So anyway, so they're still trying to figure out what VFD is. So they basically one day they're trying to figure out where Gunta is, because the doorman told them you can't leave the building until Gunta is gone, or you can't come back to the building until Gunta is gone. So they stay down in the lobby for a little bit, and then after a while they're like, he's got to be gone. And so basically what happens is they try to find Gunther, and they can't find him. So they're wondering, where is he hiding? Well, they find this, and the elevator is they live in a high ass penthouse. So they live in a high ass penthouse apartment. And so they have to climb at least 40 to 80 flights of stairs. Now there's an elevator, but the elevator is shut down because elevators are out. And that means basically that elevators aren't cool, basically. So the elevators are shut down. So they go open the elevator doors and they find that it's just a plain elevator shaft. There actually is no elevator. So what they do is they toss a rope down and it hits something. So they climb down and they see what it is. And it's a bird cage, y'all. It's a bird cage with the Quagmire triplets in it. So Gunther has captured the Quagmire triplets and is holding them hostage. Gunther, aka Count Olaf. So they try to tell Mr. and Mrs. Squalor what's going on, and Mrs. Squalor is just like, I don't believe you, blase, blase, blase. Well, you find out later on in the book that Mrs. Squalor is actually in cahoots with Gunther. Mrs. Squalor was actually one of Gunther, aka Count Olaf's students. So basically, they're trying to figure out a way to get. So they climb down this elevator shaft, and they see the triplets, and they're like, oh man, we're gonna come back, we're gonna get you, we're gonna rescue you, blah 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 blah. So they go get a rope and they climb back. They climb all the way back up to the penthouse apartment. Then they go get a rope and they climb all the way back down there to notice that the cage is gone. And plus they had took time to make these welding torches because they were gonna melt the bars and help free their friends. Well, the so they find out the cage is gone. So then they're coming down and they're in a net. They find a net. So they climb back up to the apartment, and now they're trying to figure out a way to get into the end auction. So they climb back up to the penthouse apartment, or they send Sunny, because Sunny bites the walls with her four sharp teeth and climbs the wall and climbs the wall and basically goes to the penthouse and goes and gets a rope, and then they come back down and they basically find they're going and going and going, and then they run into a wall, and they have the metal tongs that they use for the welding torches, but they find a wall, and then they start hitting the ceiling because they're thinking, well, maybe somebody will help us if we basically beat the ceiling. So they hit the ceiling. Dust starts falling everywhere. Then they figure out there's a trap door. So they go through the trap door and they make it to the end auction. Now, do the Baudelaire orphans find the Quagmire triplets? Do they ever find the Quagmire triplets? And does Count Olaf and Mrs. Squalor get away? Because turns out, like I said, that Mrs. Squalor and Count Olaf, aka Gunther, are in cahoots with each other, and Esme is trying to help Gunther steal the Quagmire sapphires. So they're in the end auction, and the Baudelaires tell uh um Jerome Squalor, they're like, hey, we need you to help us buy lot number 50. It's VFD. We need you to help us buy it. We need you to help us buy it. So Sonny buys. So they buy VFD. So what is VFD? And what happens to the Baudelaires? And what happens to the Quagmire triplets? And do Gunther, aka Count Olaf, and Esme Squalor get away? I don't know. You're going to have to read the book to find out. So, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, subscribe and make sure you turn on all notifications so you don't miss a update or a video or anything of that nature. I hope you're enjoying the show as, like I said, as much as I'm putting it out, as much as I enjoy putting it out to you. And I want to give a quick shout out to Zachary, who recommended this book series and recommended that I keep going with it. He saw the first video and he sent me a comment saying he liked it. So shout out to you, man. Hope you're still enjoying the series as much as I'm enjoying reading the books and putting them out for you, bro. So yeah, that's it, y'all. I'm out. Like I said, for more updates and videos and things of that nature, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. Alright, I'm out. Peace.